All right, good morning, everybody. Ron Phillips with Romika Designs. We're going to do a little something that I'm not sure how it's going to work out yet, but so forgive the camera angle. It's the best camera shot I've got for right now. I've got another camera coming that'll be a little bit better shot of this table, allow us to work a little bit better. But with that said, Misty and I decided that we would go ahead and get another laser, fiber laser, to be able to take it with us to our farmers markets that we do, so that we can do on-site engraving. Let's say dog tags, let's say jewelry, anything that's metal specifically, because fiber lasers don't do well with wood or acrylic because of the type of laser it is. What constitutes a fiber laser is that it uses a fiber optic cable for the light beams to get from the machine through the lens. Now, we pulled this out of the box, and I don't know if I can show you the box. It's pretty heavy. So this is what it shipped in, beaming with possibilities. And this is a branded fiber laser. A lot of these lasers come from overseas. Not very many, if any, will you find built in the U.S. specifically, but they build them all over. But there are U.S. subsidiaries here that will take these lasers and make them or work on them to put, U.S. standard wiring in them, things like that. But let's see. I'm just going to cut through this. If I cut my arm off, you'll be the first to know. How's that? So I'll go through the brand of this laser momentarily. Those that are laser companies watching me do this, you know what brand it is already, just simply by the color. A lot of laser companies will stick with one color for their lasers because it's just a brand review. People can tell on quick glance which laser you have. So my big CO2 laser is from a company called Thunder Laser. You can look them up on the web. I have on my CO2 laser, now CO2 laser is the laser that does acrylic and wood or organic materials, if you will. That laser is, like I said, a Thunder Laser, but it is a 60-watt laser. And lasers graduate from 60 watt on the CO2 side, from 60 watt all the way up through 130 watt, I believe. And of course, the bed size where you cut is much bigger on the larger wattage lasers. You can get up to a 4x4 foot bed. I think my bed on my laser, my CO2 laser, at least our first one that we've got, is 23.5 inches by 15 inches, I think. So it's not super large, but it's got a pass-through door on it, so we can do certain things that allow us to do multiple cuts. So let's see if we can get through this. All right, so my other fiber laser, I have a 30-watt cabinet-based fiber laser. And as I was explaining to some of the people watching earlier, the cabinet-based fiber laser has all of the components for the fiber laser built into the cabinet. And that is an OMTech, or OMTech, if you will. Orion Motor Tech, I think is who that is. It's an OMTech 30-watt fiber laser that looks very much similar to what this one does, except this one doesn't have a cabinet for all the components to be built into. Now, this is a fiber laser that is not a laser that you can find ordinarily. And the reason we went with this one, and I'll show you why in a second. Normally, fiber lasers, when people buy a fiber laser, they buy what's called a split system. And the split system is that you have the computer of the fiber laser that sits off to the side, that's got the components, if you will. And then you have a base with an arm and the stanchion that holds the arm out as a separate piece. We found a laser, see if I can change this blade without cutting myself. We found a laser that allows you to have all of that in one piece. And we felt like that would probably be easier for us. So all the components are in the base or in the table base of this fiber laser. And as I get closer to getting it unwrapped, you'll be able to see that. But I have to give them this. They do pack these lasers very well. They usually ship in a container. You saw that container a while ago. Let's see, what is this? Oh, okay. So on the support arm, they provide you with the ability to mount a monitor to the side of it if you want to use an external monitor, and let's say you're using a desktop machine and you want to use a standard monitor. That's what this is. So it would mount to the side and hold your monitor up. I don't think I'm going to be using that. I've got a laptop I'm going to be using when we're out at the farmers markets. So here's your fiber cable, all wrapped up nice and pretty. Let's see what else we got. Oh, nice. Okay, the toolbox. All right, one piece at a time here. So this is the fiber arm that's got the lens in it. And as I mentioned earlier, the fiber shoots through a lens that focuses the lens, right? And so the lens and the focal length are what determine how big a workspace you've got. So I have on my other fiber laser, I have a 200 millimeter lens and a 110. My 110 gives me about a 4.5 inch by 4.5 inch working space. Really good if you want to do jewelry, you know, small engraving pieces like that. But I also have a 200 millimeter lens, which gives me about a 7.5 to 8 inch square working space. The thing about a fiber laser is when you're engraving, if this is center, the farther out you get from center, the less power the fiber has. So you want to stay as close to center as you can when you're engraving. You know, these are what I would consider consumer grade fiber lasers. So they're not the massive 100-watt lasers. This one, even though it's not built as a separate piece or a split system, this one is still a 30-watt fiber laser. Very similar, in fact, to the one that I already have. It's just this one's work desk area and the components for it are all built in to one unit instead of being built into a secondary unit. So this is going to be the support arm. And now what's cool about these support arms, and most people don't use them very much, is they have a ruler built into the side of them. So, and you'll see that here in a little bit when I get ready to pull this out. But they always send you with, and I didn't notice this until we opened it up a while ago, but we got looks like a 60 centimeter or 600 millimeter ruler for measuring, which is cool. You can never have enough rulers around a laser engraving shop. It seems like we're always looking for one and can't find one. So And for those of you in the chat, I'm sorry I can't see the chat messages right now, but I'll get over there and answer those questions here in a little bit. All right, there's our support arm. This, let me see, can you see this here? Yeah. So this is, and OMTech is pretty good with this. I think all laser companies will do this in some form or fashion. They provide you with a little toolbox, and the toolbox typically has in it just the things that you need to make your laser work. They typically have cables, screws, bolts, hex keys. Sometimes they even have safety glasses in there. I can't see what this has in it, but we'll, as soon as I get through this, like Christmas opening gifts. And my wife's already asked me the question, how in the hell are you going to carry this to the farmer's market? Because this thing weighs about 70 pounds. I'm like, well, my bad. I thought I was getting one that was gonna be a little easier to deal with, but I guess I wasn't. So, all right, let's see what's in here. So we got the got all the hex keys we're gonna need, I think. Looks like a millimeter tape measure. So they overdoing it with the tape measures. Can't blame them for that. So this one has, much like my other one in the cabinet, this one has a foot pedal that allows you to, if you're doing repeatable engraves, let's say for coins or jewelry, or I did an engrave a couple of weeks ago where I was doing very, very small jewelry dangles, if you will, that would go on the back of a necklace. And they were all repeatable. I set it up once, so I used my foot pedal. I would swap it out, hit the foot pedal, it would engrave it. I'd pick it up, put another one down, hit the foot pedal, and it would engrave it. So foot pedals work. It keeps you from reaching over and having to click a mouse, but pretty nice. Of course, all of the cables, power cables, and it looks like, yeah, this is the external USB. And here's the aforementioned safety glasses. They provide safety glasses for you. You should always wear your safety gear when you're doing laser engraving. I'm telling you, if you catch an errant laser light in the eye, you will know it, because you will be blind for half a day, if not longer. Other things, like I said, are the screws. They send you a USB stick for the software that typically comes on these. It's a software called EasyCAD, but there is a company out there now that makes software that works 100 million times better, called Lightburn, 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 and I think it's either lightburnsoftware.com or lightburn.com. But if you're getting into the laser engraving business and you want some good software that's going to work really well, Lightburn is the way to go. They just recently released their Lightburn for Galvo, which is the Galvo arm that sticks out, i.e. fiber lasers. And it's a really, really, really nice piece of software. Very easy to use, very intuitive. And I love using it on the CO2 laser. So. All right. This other piece that I pulled out a while ago, and I forgot to mention it, is the part that actually screws in on the top of the laser arm. Let me see if I can get this off of there. The top of the laser arm right up here, that actually turns the galvo, raises and lifts this arm right here. Once this is mounted, then you have to raise it and lower it to focus it. Remember, I told you fiber laser has to be focused, and the focusing is based on the lens that you have and the focal point for your lens. And so if you have a specific lens, then you have to have it focused to a specific distance from the product. But your product could be as, from a dog tag being flat to, a tumbler, being this high off of the bed. So you got to be able to raise and lower the galvo arm. But then again, there are other aspects of focusing that you need to be able to focus and offset. When I'm doing stainless steel on a fiber, I always offset +3. So like my focus is 171 millimeters, but I focus at 174 when I'm doing stainless steel, and I run it as a black burn, is what I call it. But it doesn't really engrave the stainless steel; it just burns it. But it is a burn that stays there, and it looks good. So let's see. SH-F30 split fiber marking machine. This is the user manual. Of course, it comes in English. It looks like I've got rated power at 30 watts. Expected service life is 100,000 hours. The laser wavelength is 1064 nanometers. Laser frequency is 30 to 60 kilohertz. Processing area with this lens is about 6.8 inches squared, 6.8 by 6.8, or 175 millimeters. And I don't know. Yeah, I'd have to look to see. I thought this was a 200 millimeter lens, but I'm not real certain. So we'll just have to look at it and see. Either way, I've got 2 or 3 lenses for my other one, and I can swap them out if I need to. So this also, and I've got it off here to the side, but let me show you this. This also has the ability for you to plug in, and I bought this separately, just like I did for my other fiber laser. This has the ability for you to plug in what's called a rotary attachment. And in this particular case, this rotary attachment is pretty small, but you can see here that it allows you to, let's see, where's my, I can turn it, and you see it opens and closes the teeth on it. And what that does is allows you to put jewelry on these different pins to hold the jewelry. You can tip it at a certain angle, like if you're going to engrave on the outside, then it'll rotate the outside for you to engrave on it. Or if you want to engrave on the inside of the ring, let's say, then you just tip it up a little bit where you can just see past one edge into the inside edge of the other side, and you can engrave on the inside edge. So it's pretty cool. This rotary attachment will work in 2 different ways. It is spring loaded, so you can open it up so that it spring closes on the jewelry, for instance a ring, or you can turn it around where it springs outward to hold something from the inside. But that's what the rotary attachments are. And I've got a larger 80 millimeter rotary attachment for my other fiber laser, and I use it quite often. I haven't used it to do tumblers yet. I wasn't really having good luck with that, and I need to look at that again to see if that's something I want to be able to do. But yeah, so the manual goes through all the safety precautions, of course, and the operation, much like what my other fiber laser has in it. Since this is the same branded fiber laser, my guess is they're all going to work pretty much the same. But we've got our height adjustment knob, the galvo lens head, which is this piece out here, the laser arm, this piece here, the display mount, the support column, the work table, which is this here. And if you can't see it from where you're at, I'll tell you, the work table has a bunch of screw holes in it. And these screw holes are made to be used with these little barriers that they give you. And of course, if you want to set something up for a repeatable work, then you just screw these, you pick where you want to line it up. As close to center is where you can get it set. and then you put your barriers in, and then you just slide your piece in there. It keeps you from having to line it up manually every time you want to do something with a fiber laser. Took me a while to figure out what I needed to do that, but yeah. But they provide almost all of this for you so that you don't have to go out and purchase anything. So let me see if I can turn this around. We can look at the front of it here. All right, so this is obviously the heftiest part of the fiber laser, but I think you can see the front of it here. So you've got a key for start and a push button. You have to turn the key on, hit the push button, it fires up everything. This is the emergency stop. There's really not a lot on the front. There's less on the front of this one than there was on mine. In the back, we've got a foot pedal plug, a rotary axis plug, the power plug. Of course, it's got a USB cable. This is how you feed the information from the computer into it. But I'm going to go ahead and put these pieces together. Let me see. Now, the one thing that I don't need is hex keys, God bless them, that are on a freaking spring. I don't know why that is, but and of course, it's just a matter of mounting the support arm and then the laser top. But I wanted you to see, for those of you not familiar with a fiber laser, I wanted you to see what it looks like put together. Again, I apologize for the lack of camera shots. I new to this YouTube channel stuff, and I've got other cameras coming that'll give me multiple camera shots for the different things that we're going to be doing, and over time I'm sure they'll get better. But this was such a big item, I went ahead and just used my pan tilt zoom camera to set it up. So ultimately, when I take this to the farmer's market, I can take this apart if I need to, and put it together while we're out there, you know, with setting up. Because we're going to be changing what we're doing at the farmer's markets, we're not going to be taking as much wood-based product as we had in the past. We're probably going to take, as a matter of fact, we're probably going to take quite a bit less. But we'll do more jewelry, on-site dog tags, things like that. Let's see, what do I got to do here? So this is the handle. Sorry for the noise, folks. That's my air compressor that runs. We use the air compressor with the laser, or with the CO2 laser, to help when we're cutting wood. So this comes with a little square or rectangle pin, metal pin, that actually has to be installed before you put the piece into it. There we go. And that keeps it from spinning freely. But then once you've got that in, you just put this back on and tighten it down. And this is how you raise and lower the galvo arm. And you can see that. Moving there. All right, so now I've got to get these that honestly does not look like it's going together like my last one did, but let me see. And as always with the owner's manual, you know how dudes are. We don't like owner's manuals at all. So honestly, so the way this is built is it's got some nuts on a little track that move back and forth in here, and it's got these, and they're set. They don't come out, but it's got these little hex bolts that do screw into the bottom of these nuts. But I think you got to line these nuts up on the arm. And how you do that, that's a good freaking question. I think it looks like the bolts are long enough. That's not the problem. It's lining them up that's the problem. Because there's 4 of them and you have to line them all up. Kind of doesn't make sense if you ask me. Although you can loosen this and it'll slide around once it's in there. But yeah. Let's see, is that it? So yeah, that's the best way to do it, I guess. As long as you've got it lined up, you're good. And so what this allows you to do is loosen it up and then slide this galvo head out. So that you can get it as close to the center of the bed as you can, I guess. Wow, I can't believe that worked. And we'll call that good for now. And let's see, we'll put it back over this way a little bit. Just snug it down for now, and after we get done here, then I'll go through and set it up. But there you go. And ultimately, you measure. And I built some what I call T-measure handles or T-measures. Because a lot of times when you're measuring something like this from, let me give you an example, and I'll go get mine so I can show you. But a lot of times when you're measuring for your items, you don't want to have to stick a ruler up next to it, try to find the ruler that fits, or, you know, hope you're close enough to whatever it is. But quite honestly, you can create some focusing tools, and I know these are going to be hard to see, so I'll hold them up against my shirt, but I made them out of acrylic, and I got this pattern from a group called Laser Everything, Alex and those guys over there, so thank you for that. But these are measured from top to bottom at a distance that my other fiber laser uses, and this is a 110 millimeter lens at 171 millimeter focus. So that's what this one is. It's 171 millimeters from here to the bottom. So when I'm using this, let me remove the lid. When I'm using this and I've got something on the base here, I just turn this down and I put it, the reason for the T across the top is so that it sits underneath that lens. And I put it and I run it down there until it touches that item, just barely touches it. And then once it touches it, and I can move it back and forth, then that lens is focused for that 171 millimeters. It's very quick. Don't have to hold a ruler up to the side of it and try to guess, you know, where you're at. Especially if you've got a product here that's too big to, you know, have the ruler set on. Now this other one is a 110 millimeter lens, 174 millimeter focus, so it's a +3. And this was the one I used, remember, when I was doing stainless steel to get the black. It helps with that. If you're engraving with a fiber laser stainless steel and you haven't tried to use the offset, you should consider doing the offset. It burns it. It makes it look much better, in my opinion, than it does if you deep engrave. Now, if you're trying to deep engrave, so be it. You got to go with what you got to go with. But if you're just trying to put a mark on stainless steel and you want it to look good, especially on jewelry, then offset it by +3. Now this, you can see, doesn't fit under here. So I'd have to raise it up, put it underneath there, come down until it just touches the product, and then pull it out. But made these little T-measure bars, worked like a champ. Thanks Laser Everything for that. So that's pretty much it, guys. This is my SH-F30 split fiber marking machine. Now they call this a split, but my guess is they just simply gave me the split manual, because the split usually has this piece setting off to the side with a flat piece that just sits on the ground. But I wanted it all in one piece to just pick it up, take it with me, set it up. And that's probably what I'll do, is just like you see it here. I've got that this cover. Probably gonna put that right back on the top of it there. and off we go. Put that in the back of the truck, take it over there, set it up. But there you have it. OMTech SH-F30. All right, guys, thanks for hanging with me today. We appreciate the opportunity to walk through this kind of stuff with you. I love having new toys. We'll see you guys later. Thank you.
At Romika Designs, we're more than just a laser engraving and specialty design company. Much more. I'm Ron Phillips, co-owner of Romika Designs, and if you can dream it, we can probably make it. We can custom laser cut and engrave on nearly all material. Great for one-of-a-kind gifts, home decor, business and specialty items, or personalized and logo designs created just for you or your company. Allow us to become your go-to gift and specialty project partner. Romika Designs can help make your ideas a reality. We're ready to help you design and create that special gift for any occasion or engrave your personal or business logo on just about any product. View our designs at romikadesigns.com or simply email us with your ideas. We specialize in custom design and would be honored to have the opportunity to discuss it with you. Call us at 817-400-4040, email info@romikadesigns.com, or visit us on the web at romikadesigns.com.